welcome everybody to our second live stream of the day. Hex Token channel, your host Superman in the house. Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex, and everything else we can think of on the ecosystem we're covering. And of course, we've got green skies at the moment, not blue skies, but green skies in the market. That's going to be good. So let's see how we go. We're still in the period of the window of opportunity, as I always say, up to the ETH merge. And of course, let's see what can happen during that time. Crypto can do some pretty spectacular things. So we're going to find out and soon enough. So big welcome to me, of course, from Superman, the host of the show. Who is Superman? That is me. And of course, let's get into it, folks. Let's see who's in the house. And of course, we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Maximus team and Perpetual day 3 results. Yes. And we're going to look at projections for those as well for 21 days. We're going to also look at what else we're looking at. The team results, the Perpetuals, Base Trio, Lucky Dicky. We're going to look at that. And of course, I'll post the website if you want to get involved. We're going to also look at obviously all the charts again. And of course, we do that twice a day. We're going to get into PowerCity. Gave us some juicy updates from Las Vegas. Yeah, boy, at the PowerCity party, which is only just getting started. And of course, it's going to go through to 5 a.m. They had some Middle Eastern ballet dancing. They had some rapping. They had some, some modeling girls and all sorts of stuff going on there. And they've only just started. So pretty crazy there. But they did give us some alpha updates around PowerCity. And of course, I always say it's going to be one of the top utility projects on Pulsechain. It's going to be a very big enabler of value. And of course, we're going to get into that. And I like it. The thing I like about it, it's going to be very democratized. In other words, the small person can get into it, as it were. The small retailer can get in and make a really, really good return using their products. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Not only that, but it's got so much to it. I mean, it's huge. So we could talk about that for 2 hours, but we're not going to. We're going to have a brief update later on, so stay tuned for that. We're also going to look at, of course, what else we're looking at. We're going to look at a few other things. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's get into it. We will check this out. Let's get who's in the house here. We've got Blobfish King. Woohoo! I need my Hex Token channel fixed. It's 3:30 p.m. and I'm fading in the office. Wild swings are in the game. Crypto is definitely not boring, says Blobfish King. That is true. That is true. And you can see the markets at the moment looking nice and green, though. Wookie in the house there. Woohoo! All on time, y'all. Good to see Wookie in the house there. Wookie, what's it? Hedronus a Jedi, says Wookie. I like your title change there. And Dave down under, give me something positive. Superman, give me something. We've got positive stuff. We've got PowerCity news. This is hot off the press. I'm pretty sure that other than PowerCity channel, this is the first channel to cover it. So it's going to be pretty cool. We're dropping some cool stuff from PowerCity. Hex Hedron as well. Hey, everybody, good to see you. Pulse God as well. Hey, family, good to see you as well. James Bond in here, PLSD pumping. Well, we'll check that out because I hadn't seen that. So we'll check that out. Who else there? Pulse God in there. I like it with the pumps. Mikey's in the house. Hello to Superman, Hex community, and the non-believers as well. It's good to feel Hexiest. I like that, Mikey. I like that. And James Bond. Hi, everybody. Cool to see everybody. Hey, let's lead it. Let's lead it. Here we are with the crypto channels. BTC at 19,155, up 2%, and ETH at 1618, up 6.77. BNB up 3.76, and of course we had a good day on the stock markets yesterday. And of course we've got the ETH merge coming up in a week's time, right? A week's time on the 15th or so. That is pretty cool. So we're looking forward to that. That will be the big event coming up. And of course, let's hope we get a bit of hype into the markets, lift those crypto prices and have a lot of fun. That's what we like to have. Right, we're just going to jump, actually. Let's jump straight to PowerCity. Let's do it. Let's not wait. Let's just go. Now, PowerCity had their live stream. They've got this running all the time. It's going to be running for hours and hours, I guess. It's going to 5 o'clock in the morning. PowerCity Vegas party. It was sold out. They've got so much stuff happening there. They're doing a fantastic job. They've got multiple cameras as well, so you can watch that. I'm going to post that in the chat there if you haven't seen it already. But we're going to play some highlights, folks. We're going to play some highlights of their big announcement. So you can check out all the details there. I posted that in the chat. You can watch that. It's going to be going for hours. Definitely check that out there. Nobel says, I just received a Coinbase notification saying the Ethereum merge has begun, says Nobel. That's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if that's true there, but we will definitely see. They're actually doing some lead-ups into that probably there, Nobel. That's probably what's going on there. Christian says, hello, hello, hello. And good to see you as well. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to be getting into some highlights. So PowerCity obviously has a number of products. They've got the PowerCity Core, and of course they've got the PowerCity Transformer. They've got the Amplifier. They've got the NFT market, and of course they're going to have PowerCity Flex. They've got lots of product potentially in their suite. It's going to be one of the utility powerhouses, I think, on Pulsechain. They've still got their sacrifice open at the moment. It's a $1 for 1 point at the moment is their sacrifice. It's still going. And it's going to be going until Pulsechain launches. So it's definitely one of the biggest sacrifices and biggest utilities. It's also obviously going to have a big impact on Pulsechain as well as bridging from multi-chains with the transformer there. But we're going to be talking about the PowerCity core. And of course, you can see some of their sneak previews on their live stream. I'm not going to play those at the moment, but you can see that we're just going to have a look at the quick summary of what's being launched at the moment. So let's check it out. They covered a lot of sneak previews. They sneak previewed their amplifier as well. That was pretty awesome. You can check it out on the source video, which I posted above, so you can check that out. That's pretty cool. Now let's get into their update. Here we go. It's only about 40 seconds long, so listen carefully. Here we go on this one.
I'm excited to share that we just finished development on the core, and we are entering our internal testing right next week, which puts us on track to have a public test net in October. So real code coming real soon. Now I got something exciting here. This has also completed development this week, and we are going into internal testing next week on Amplifier as well, which means we will be going into a public test net later on this fall or early winter. So great news, big things coming to Pulsechain testnet.
So that's huge news. It looks like we've got the PowerCity core coming onto Pulsechain test network in October, and that could be quickly followed by the amplifier. So the amplifier is awesome if you're going to be in like liquid loans and things like that. It's going to be able to compound your returns for you automatically. You won't have to be able to have to worry about doing it manually. You can get on with your life while you're getting those compound returns. It's going to be great for the retail book. So that's huge news, folks. That is some alpha drop. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And of course, if you missed that stream, you now are aware of it. Spread the word, because that's going to be a real powerhouse on Pulsechain. One of the, I guess, the A-list of dApps utilities. It's going to add a lot of value. They've got so many epic products in the ecosystem. It really is going to be amazing. Look at the party they put on. This party, the camera, it's a little dark in the camera work, but they got multiple cameras on this thing. These guys have really set things up pretty well. And of course, enjoying that. So check that out. The link to the full video is here. And of course, you can see the update. They got the full promos of the amplifier. I haven't shown that, but you can see that on the video there. It has got some music. Didn't want to show that too much. So cool. That is the update. And I'm excited. That's fantastic. So let's get into it, folks. Let's get into the Hex price at the moment. So we're currently at 4 cents. So just sitting around this 4 cents, been like that for about 10 days. We've been up as high as about 4.4 cents, as low as about 3.8 cents there. So it's just right in the middle of the range at the moment. And of course, we're just waiting for a bit of indication which direction it's going to go. So we have got the Maximus Perpetuals up and running. So obviously, the more Hex goes in there, the more that buys on the market. We've got some buying pressure coming from that, subject to normal market conditions. So we've obviously had a lot of volatility come into the market. So we just have to absorb that too. Let's get into the Hex quad charts. We've got the Maximus Premium was as high as 226. Just obviously had a little bit of sell off there. Just down to 2.17. That's on the daily candle there. If we look at the hourly there, we can see that's just happened in the current hour that we're in at the moment. So we've just flicked into another hour over the last 10 minutes. So someone's just sold a bit of volume in there. It's kind of where we are there on the Maxi. And of course, we can see that, 340,000, 340,000. So 2 lots of 340,000 there sold. And then another 88 and 39. So that's what's happened there. Someone came in and bought 89 afterwards. So it's probably the same address, 340, 340. It's the same amount, so it's probably the same account, no doubt, DDE there. So let's go jump in there, see what they've been doing. They pledged Hex there. So it looks like they've sold some Maxi into Hex and then pledged Hex into the Perpetuals, into the 10-year one, the Decky there. So it looks like what they've done. So here we are. We're seeing some larger Maxi holders make their moves. Now, obviously, if they're selling Maxi down, that pulls the Maxi ratio down. But of course, they've put their Hex into Decky. So that's a good stuff. We're seeing more and more of this sort of behavior. Big clap from Superman. I love to see the big whales or the big larger Maxi holders move. This is a small, what would this be, like a dolphin, something like that. But it's nice to see these ones move as well. So very, very cool. And we saw that happening there. So I had 340 and 340. So that's the other one there. It's the same address. So just the two amounts of 340. That's a pretty big wallet if you think about it. I'm not sure if they've got many Maxi left after doing 680,000 Have they got any maxi left? They got 500,000 left. So that's one of the big whales. That's one of our whales that was over 1 million. They have made their move. They have made their move. That's one of our whales. We only had 52 left. I think it was 50. Yeah, we started with about 58. I think we're down quite a bit there. So that's cool. That's one of our big whales. That's just happened. So that's pretty cool on there. So very nice, as we say, very nice. EB84. Let's see, what's that one? That's D60EE. So that's pretty cool to see that. Man, that's funny. So we are seeing people move. Obviously, there's a long way to go for 21 days, and that's pretty cool. So that's kind of where we are at the market at the moment. And of course, we're going to have ebbs and flows as the larger accounts do their movements and new people go into as well. We've got Hedron at the moment. Hedron at 4,040 seems to be holding at this stage. It's kind of good because it could have gone down as low. In my view, Randy had 3,200 at about 3,500. He got the 3,600 yesterday. So we'll see. Watch this here, see whether it gets some support at the 4,000. Otherwise, it will probably come down here. We are easing off on the RSI. That's a cool thing. And we've still got decent volumes in there, but obviously on the downside. But the RSI cooling off is positive. We're down at about 52, so maybe it might ease off a little bit there. We will wait and see. And I think that's probably the highlight there. We've got $1.22 on icosa. And, of course, the team there in liquidity pools is operating. So cool. Let's quickly jump over to the results, though. Of course, for the time period. Let's get into it. We're going to jump over to, let's go to here. We're going to get into the results. So this is day 3 of Maximus here. So you can see this result here on Twitter. Day 3. This was up 3 hours ago. Remember, they actually did their thing about 2.5 hours earlier. So I'm just going with their timestamp, even though I think it's 2 hours and 2.5 hours a bit early. But that's the way we go. So anyway, these are the results there. And I've plugged those results into the good old spreadsheet. So we've got 9.8 million on base, 9.65 million on trio, 9 million on lucky on end of day 3, and 27.29 million decky. And of course, you can see all the T shares there, pretty epic. And of course, the APYs corresponding. Not surprised that a lot's going into decky. It kind of makes sense if you're going for the high APY, even if you're playing the short game, because the higher yield may get a higher premium, just like Maxi. So that could be interesting with the long-term and the short-term game on that one. And of course, the team there, 24.62 million in the team with 17.9 million stake there. So I'll plug those numbers into the spreadsheet, and of course, update the spreadsheet here. Day 1, these are the results so far. So we had 7.3 million in the base. So when it's a 1-to-1 mint. So when we're talking about base, we're also talking about the amount of hex that gone in there as well. So 7.3 million hex or 7.3 million base, same thing. Trio 6.8 million hex has gone in there, and the trio 6.9 million has gone into the lucky, and of course 13.9 million went into decky on the first day, and of course this is in millions. So pretty cool. Total millions 34.9 million on day 1. Day 2 we got 9.1 million. Was the total. This is the grand total, and of course 9 million the next day, 8.4, 20.4, and then by day 2 we had 46.8 million in there, and of course that was the result. So on the delta, the first day, of course, we had the biggest day, 34 million. You can see the respective numbers there. And, of course, the second day is basically this total less this total. And, of course, we had 1.8 million into the base increase. We had 2.2 million into trio, 1.5 million into lucky, and 6.4 million into decky on day 2. A total increase on day 2 of 11.9 million. So, obviously, a lot of FOMO day 1, a lot of pretty decent numbers in day 2. And, of course, day 3, we ended up with a total of 9.8, 9.7, 9 million, 23.7, total of 55.8 million hex has gone into these 4 perpetuals, the base, trio, lucky, and decky. Obviously, base is 1 year staking pool. The trio is a 3 year staking pool. Lucky is a 7 year staking pool, and decky is a 10 year staking pool. All of them are perpetual, so they're going to be restaked at the end of each period. So that's pretty much how we're rocking at the moment. So we had 55.8 million at the end of day 3, which is 3 hours ago, based on the Maximus printout. So we've got a loose target here of 600 million hex over 21 days. That would get 150 million as the idea. It's kind of average between all this. If we've got 150 million on the base, trio, lucky, and decky, that'd be 600 million. It's kind of a working target for the bigger pays better bonus. Obviously, at the moment, it's very lopsided because we're getting a lot more in the decky token. Has the decky token for 10 years, as you can see, which does not surprising given the yield that's going in there as well. So Nothing surprising there. So we've got at the moment with 55.8 million versus 600 million. We are currently at 9.3% of the target of 21 days from day 3. Now, what I expect to see is a big run up like we have on day 1, then maybe some volatility as we go, and then of course a big balloon at the end as all the big whales, the big maxi whales, the big hex whales, everybody else is looking to see how this is performing, how much is going in, and then we could see a big deluge at the end. Maybe the last 2 days in particular. That's kind of what I'm expecting. We might get some uneven days as certain larger accounts go and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun to see this play out over a 3-week period. The projection, of course, at the moment is a linear projection. So this is based on, obviously, we had a big weighting on day 1, but currently at 390 million. Now, this is going to change every single day. This is going to go up and down. So take this as just as a really rough guide. Obviously, as we get some big days, this number could change around dramatically. So it's just a very blunt projection at the moment on a linear basis. And, of course, heavily weighted to day 1 there. Now, let's have a look at the team. 18.9 million we got in the team day 1 there. And, of course, you can see the delta for day 3. We're up at 55.8 million, but the delta for day 3 is 9 million. So we got smaller increases in those ones each day on day 3 there. But a big one in Decky. Decky remaining strong there, 6.9 million, and of course 9 million altogether. So Decky is really commanding the performance there. Now on the team tokens is where people, instead of putting Hex in, you need Hex for all these perpetuals, but for the team you need Maxi. You put Maxi in. So this is a big interesting play for Maxi. Pressure. We got 18.9 million on the first day, 22.8 million in total on the second day, and a 24.6 million on the third day. And we're currently at 8.4% of all Maxi has gone into the team token. So 8.4%. So there's 293.3 million. And of course, 8.4% has gone in there so far. So the first day we had 8.9 million Maxi go in there. The second day, 3.9. The third day, 1.8 million. So it's going to be fun to see this play out over 21 days. I'm very excited about that. So those are the numbers so far. And let's have a look at the real-time numbers. So I'm going to refresh the report here, have a look at the real-time numbers. This is some awesome stuff here going on. It's loving this stuff, man. So if we finish the day, we finished the day at 9.8 on day 3. So we're now on day 4 technically based on the Maximus printouts. So we're now up to 9.84 million. So we've jumped from 9.8 to 9.84 million. We've jumped from 9.7 to 9.72. So just slightly higher. On the Maximus team there, we're at 9 million. We've jumped to 9.8. And of course, the big mover, no surprise here, 27.3 million was the end 3 hours ago. In 3 hours, we've already jumped to 29.9 million. The 10 years are killing it. And why? Because both from a short-term and long-term point of view, the yield is the biggest. So no matter whether you're playing the long game, the short game, in terms of investment, it's got the higher premium. No surprises there. So that's pretty interesting. All right, so cool. Let's have a look at the team. The team there at 24.6 million is where we ended 3 hours ago, and we're already in the real-time live up to 25.18 million. Well done. 25 million. That's awesome. That is really, really cool. Just happy about that. And yeah, very, very nice there. Creeping up. But let's see where we are versus the Hedron deployer. That's going to be pretty important. Let's see where we are versus the Hedron deployer, folks. But before we do that, let's check out what we've got staked. 80 million staked, 7 million liquid at the moment. And of course, out of the 25 million maxi that's gone in, 5 million is going to be burned. That's awesome. 5 million of the 293.3 million is going to be burned. Now, this is after the Hedron deployer burnt 1 million. 7.55 million is going into the maxi reward pool for the year 3, 6, and 9, and a maxi mystery box. This rich superpower is going to get 12.5 million maxi. So we're going to have amazing stuff. We're going to have Hex, where we've got the Origin account and the Origin daughters. We're going to have the Hedron deployer, which is a beastie boy, has been well over $20 million. And, of course, owns multiple assets, including being the #1 maxi holder. And then, of course, we're going to have the mystery box. And, of course, it's going to have a powerhouse of team tokens and maxi tokens. And, of course, it can't stake in the first year, though. But we've got these 3 entities. What are they doing? Are they all benevolent like the Origin account has been, where it protects the staker class? It staked on big payday. It protects the APY, or regulates the APY yield and the inflation, gets 50% of the penalties. Is it going to be something like that? or is it going to be like the Hedron deployer, where we've seen burn 1 million maxi? What else is it going to do? We've seen put liquidity in the Hex Hedron pool. We've seen it do that a couple of times, and of course we've got the now the mystery box, and of course we've seen when you go to mint your teams, it talks about you may get a mystery benefit. There's 4 benefits. Of course, 50% of the bigger pays better bonus from the Perpetuals in the for team stakers. There's all the Hedron for the Perpetuals as well. On top of that, there's the 369. 30% of the maxi gets redistributed over year 3, 6, and 9. And then on top of that, number 4, you're going to benefit from mystery potentially tokens from the growth of the ecosystem, new products, new staking pools, all sorts of stuff that this team could develop. And of course, we've seen Dipcatcher recently say he could be an old man by the time he finishes building out this whole ecosystem, pretty much. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So there we are, folks. We're going to have some interesting games afoot. Things are just warming up, and these results are a lot of fun. So let's get over and see how big the team is now. So if we've got 25 million gone into the team there, that means that's in the Maxi wallet. And of course, we're going to go and hunt that down. Let me just close this down here. I'm not sure what wallet I was in there, but there we are. Let's go to the holders. So we've got 293.3 million maxi. The holders are going down, of course, and that would be expected as people are sending maxi into the team token. The number of holders are decreasing. So we're at 5,525, as well, of course, as the market. If the market is selling, people selling out their holdings, that would be the other factor. Let's have a look at the holders, though. The Hedron deployer still holding on to number 1 spot, but for how long? That is the question. I don't think for long. And of course, we're at 9.18% on the Hedron deployer. And of course, the team wallet there with Maxi in it is got almost 25.2 million. It's now up to 8.6%. So it's not far away from becoming number 1. Is the old team wallet there with Maxi in it. And of course, if you jump in there, you can actually see all the people minting their team. Look at all. Woohoo! Lots of time. Lots of fun there. Let's have a look at some of the Beastie Boys coming lately. 80,000 in there, 300,000. 65,000. So you still got some pretty decent numbers coming in there. 55,555. Someone's got a nice sense of humor. You got to love that around the X community, don't you? The 555s, 550,000 there as well. So some pretty decent numbers. 100,000 down here. This is all in the last 8-9 hours. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, we haven't seen a lot of the big whales move yet. We got a lot of big whales in here, folks. We've just saw one just move just a little while ago in the charts there. We saw these ones move here. Where would it go? Back down here. We saw the big ones move earlier there. This one here, this is a big whale. This is the same account. So we saw that whale, that sort of whale move. That is over a million maxi there. And of course, that means that it would be on the top page, or maybe the next page. It was now, but now it's got a lower holding. So it used to be one of these whales. It's now not that like that anymore. And it's down here somewhere. I'm not going to bother finding it, but it is down here somewhere. Was it 600,000? Something like that. I think it still had. But it's down here somewhere. It might be this one here, somewhere in there. Anyway, so that whale's got smaller now, more like a dolphin or shark, something like that. So that's cool and very exciting. So we're going to see what all these players do. And of course, we go to do the we go to the 500,000 now. We used to be on page 3, by the way, for 500,000, but now we're on page 2. This is quite dramatic change. So we used to have about 110, 111, something like that, people over 500,000 when we started. We're now down to 99. So things have changed. Players above 500,000 have changed. And of course, some of the players over 1 million have changed as well. We used to have about 58 of those, 59. We're down to like 52. And if you take liquidity pools out, we're more likely down to 50, 51 or something like that. So very cool. Here's the liquidity pool here for V3. What else is on there? We've got V3 there. So we're actually lower. We're down at like 50. So there we are, down to 50 people over 1 million. Pretty exciting. And of course, we take that down even lower because we've got the team wallet here, and we've got the Hedron deployer. Now, will the Hedron deployer go into team? And that means that this stuff here, some if not all, will transfer into here, but we don't know. It may do nothing. It may just sit there and just knows that Maxi is going into this wallet, and therefore does nothing. So the Hedron deployer is acting. It is doing things. It has burned 1 million maxi, and it has at least twice gone into the liquidity pools. for Maxi, for Hedron and Hex. And of course, we can see that on the Hedron deployer. I don't know why I went down to see that, but we can see the Hedron deployer is pretty much down at 17.4 million. Obviously, with the price of Hedron coming back, it has come down there, but we've got 2.3 trillion Hedron in the wallet at the moment. We've got 3.3 million US dollars. So the stable coins have not moved. We're currently at 69 million Hex in there. What else we got going on there? And of course, the Maxi. So let's have a quick look at the Hex here and see what's happened, transpired here. So Hedron add liquidity twice. So it's just on 2 of these, 4 days and 7 hours ago and 1 day. That's kind of where we are at the moment. So I love this interplay. Do you guys like this interplay? I like this interplay. And I'm looking forward to see what else these things do in the future. So a lot of fun. We've got just under 18 days to go, around 18 days to given the timer as well. So very, very cool. Now, if you want to get into base and if you want to put your Hex into the staking pools, base, trio, lucky, and dicky, I've done 2 how-to videos on the channel. Obviously, if you want to mint your Maxi into team, I've also got a video on that. So they're both short form videos. Check that out on this channel. But of course, you can jump straight to the website, of course, if you want to check this out and get in there. Here is the website for Maximus DAO. So check that out. That is the site there. But of course, I've got 2 how-to videos on how to do that with the team. You need Maxi to mint team. You need Hex to mint the perpetual staking pools. And of course, if you want to get access to all the sites, join the Discord in the link below. Jump to useful links in here. And of course, you can scroll up to the top here and to get all the access to these sites here. We've got the Maximus Maxi pool there. But of course, the latest stuff here is all here. So if you want to get all the information you want, that is here. We've got all the stuff here that I've been showing you, the website, the dashboard that we're looking at. So this dashboard here. And of course, we've got the team contract and the team Maxi wallet as well, which we've all just looked at just on this live stream. So very exciting stuff. Very exciting. All right. So cool. That is the results of Maxi. Looking pretty good, if you ask me. And let's see what else that the Maxi has got on the news here. This is the big thing over the next couple of weeks. So very exciting. Hey, look, we just got retweeted there. How about that? Is that cool? We'll retweet that too. So that's very nice. Let's jump down here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're going to close out of that. Day 3 results looking pretty good. So we're currently at 9.3% of our 600 million target. And of course, that's based on the bigger pays better bonus. And we're 8.4 million at the end of day 3 on the team. Supply has gone, Maxi has gone into the team. We're watching that pretty closely. And we're going to get some volatile results. So they'll be up one day and down the next. It's going to be quite interesting and so forth. So it's going to be fun to watch. And then we're definitely going to get a big balloon at the end. That seems like a no-brainer, that one. All right, cool. We're going to close all those down. That's pretty much the Maxi update. And looking good. At the moment, we've got Maxi at 8.5 cents. And we got whales moving. And we're going to get more whales moving by the time we get to the end, I'm sure. I think that quite a lot will just be waiting, Hex and Maxi whales and Hedron, people with large Hedron bags as well that may be considering going into Maxi Perpetuals as well. We'll be watching that too. So cool. And that is pretty much the prices there. And let's get into some of the comments in the chat there. I'm going to leave it on here for a second. We're going to actually have a little look at Pulsechain, by the way. So stay tuned for that. Let's see who else has joined us in the chat here. Let's go up to the top here. I'm not sure where I got to. PLSD pumping. Yeah, we haven't talked about PLSD. We'll talk about PLSD in a second. I'm going to bring up the other charts. We're going to quickly talk about that, but I'll jump back to PLSD there, James. Mikey says, hello to Superman, Hex community, and non. Yeah, I think I got up to that one, so that's cool. Dave in the house says, how many X's do you think Hedron can do by next year? No one knows there, Dave. No one knows, but you forced me. You forced my hand, Dave. You forced my hand. I knew you were going to try and do it, but that's the way we go. Let's do it. Let me pull up the thing. I'm just being silly, Dave. I'm just being silly. But let's go into icosa. We're going to have a look at the icosa pumpamentals. Let's have a look here. We're expecting this in November. November's going to do pretty well. By November, it's going to be pretty explosive, I would say, in November. So if you're staking, you want to be staked, and of course, you're going to get part of the big icosas coming to the market for what I call the big fortnight payday. Tens of thousands of T-shares, trillions of Hedron burnt likely, and of course, massive icosa inflation and payout to stakers. It's going to be pretty epic. So stay tuned for that. Let's go look at the fundamentals though. We're going to jump over to the price of Hedron. So Hedron at 4045. Let's plug that into our calculator. 4045. Man, it's come down since I did it last time. Look. Oh my gosh, that's what happens in crypto. 4045. There's just too many big X's in there and too much volatility in the market, unfortunately. 4045. But the fundamentals in November are still there. And of course, that's been paying out Hedron every day. So it's been pretty nice. All right, so cool. We've got it's got 2.5x to get to quadruple 01. It is 1.8x now to get to the all-time high of 7272. That was at 1.2, so that's gone back there. So that's kind of the next in the near term. I know you're asking, what do you think it will do by next year? Well, you know, this is possibly possible with this a B share per average stake length here. This is kind of designed by Alex there. That's at 000494. That'd be 122x from here. So that's kind of possibly where it might be able to go to by next year. So it could do 100x basically from where we are at the moment. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of icosa inflation, but that's mostly up at the beginning in November. And then, of course, we're going to get a lot of Hedron burned in November. And, of course, a lot of people stake the Hedron. So that bodes well. And, of course, the Hex whales got involved. So that bodes well for a future with the price there. So definitely that has the chance to do 100x. But, of course, this is crypto and it's volatile. And that's just my opinion at the moment. So that's kind of where we are there. Now, obviously, if you're going to really moon boy, then you got a 432x from here. If it ever gets to 10,000x times its an all-time low point. So that would be 432x from here at the moment to getting just under 0.2 of a penny. So it's kind of some of the moon boy math there. Definitely 100x is potentially in the game there, just the way that Alex has designed it. So yeah, maybe as the market returns into bullish market territory, this is maybe some of the upward expectations you might be able to realize. But we do have to be in more bullish market conditions. Of course, we are entering into volatility with the Fed interest rates. So that's actually impacting the market big time. And I think that's going to probably start affecting us in particular from late September, after the 21st of September, when the interest rate rises through October, November. November is the next Fed interest rate rise. Now, if they have signaled that they're going to be fairly strict with that, obviously they want to see a couple of months in a row of inflation reducing. And of course, I think probably targeting 4% on the federal funds rate. They're currently at about 2.2 to 2.5%. So that's kind of where we're expecting. So maybe September, November. November is going to be interesting. I'm a little critical about November, given the midterms in the US, because if you've already seen the Fed is looking to do new criteria around so-called climate change. Obviously, they're part of that delusional syndicate of people doing that stuff. And of course, I've studied for 25 years, so I know it's delusional. I've read all the IPC papers, etc. And of course, the numbers don't back up anything of that. But anyway, that's another issue aside. So they're looking to do that. So we already know that they may be doing they're certainly aligned to certain administrations other than others. So we're going to wait and see what happens there. But they may be a bit more cautious about that November rate rise. We will find out. So yeah, but the worst case scenario, obviously, for next year is if interest rates keep rising, if high inflation persists and interest rates go into next year, that is going to really hit all markets. So we've got to be, hopefully we'll just get the September, November rate rise, and then we'll be able to move on past that. It's kind of where we're hoping for at the moment. All right, cool. Hopefully that kind of gives you a bit of a answer on that. Let me know in the chat, everybody, what everybody else thinks. What else we got going there? We've got a few other ones. We've got the Tail 7, Liquid Lines testnet soon too. Yeah, so Liquid Lines is expected soon, but they were supposed to already be out now. So they're still a bit delayed, their Tail 7, but they must be coming pretty soon on Liquid Lines testnet. They were supposed to be, I don't think we were going to get it at the end of August, but they're supposed to be early September. So they are late on that one, Tail 7, but they're probably coming soon, is my guess. Herv is in house. Hey, Herv, what's up? Renman, hey, Suitman, big fan of your most well-rounded Hex ecosystem streams. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, Ren. That does mean a lot. And I hope you guys are enjoying my short-form videos. I've got another one coming out tonight, so stay tuned for that. It's in the Pulsechain series. So I did the first video I did 2 days ago. Comes out in the evening, so at the beginning when Americans wake up. That was on Pulsechain Explained. And of course, then the second video I did last night was how big will Pulsechain be. The third video coming out tonight is going to be how fast will Pulsechain grow. So check out that video coming out later tonight. Those are short form videos. People have been asking me for 10, 5 to 12 minute videos. So those are coming thick and fast. Christian Collins in the house there. From when these mints starts getting yields on day 21. So on the 28th, Christian Collins. Cool. Yeah, after day 21. It ends on 0 UTC time on the 27th. So after that, the Hex will be staked. So yeah, I have got that in a presentation, so maybe we can pull that up quickly because that's a good question around the perpetuals. So let's just jump back to that. Whew, let's go. So much happening, isn't it? So much happening there. Let me get back to where's my feed on that one. We're going to jump over to that one here and get into that. So cool. Let's jump over to where are we up to? This has got the end on here. Oh, shit. If I cut this off, maybe I have. All right, so here it is. Yeah, let's get onto this. Bam. And of course, here is the layout for the perpetuals. Just coming back to Hex Biker there. I think it's Hex, no, Christian, sorry. So the launch process of team and perpetuals is as follows. Day 0, of course, has already started. We're in day 4. Of course, the initial team contract was deployed. The team minting phase has begun. We're in day 4 now. Deployment of the perpetuals were done on day 0. The stake reward distribution contract was run. Now, at the end of 21 days, which we're on day 4 at the moment, they're going to run a finalized minting function and then run the start stake for each of the perpetuals they're going to run. And then they're going to disable the team minting and day 21, which is 0 UTC time on the 27th and of this month. They're going to burn 20% of the maxi in the team contract. So the burn doesn't actually happen. Imagine everyone for 21 days is putting all their maxi inside the team wallet, which we've looked at just before. They're going to not burn that until the end, which makes sense, right? They're going to fill the bucket up, and then they're going to burn the 20% at the end there. And then, of course, they're going to deploy the 369 maxi escrow contract. That holds all that 30% of the rewards. So it sends 30% of the maxi to the team contract. That holds that rewards. And, of course, then they're going to run a function to schedule those distributions in year 3, 6, and 9. So that's pretty much 50% of the maxi is going to get allocated at the time there. And then, of course, the final 50%, they're going to deploy the mystery box smart contract and send it 50% of maxi in team contract and copy of the team minted. So that's what they're going to be doing there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So there we are. That's 100% of the maxi gets redistributed. And, of course, they're going to run all the hex stakes get staked out, right? The base trio, Lucky and Dicky all get staked out there. They run this code pretty much at the end. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So look forward to it. It's kind of where we are there. Let's jump out of that. What else we got going? We've got Hex Biker. Very good morning to everybody. Superman smashing in out of the park as usual. Hey, Hex Biker, big shout out to you. And, of course, a big shout out to everybody in the UK, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and England. I know you guys just waking up, so welcome to the live stream. Hope you guys have a great day out there. Hex Hodl's in the house. Good to see Hex Hodl as always. Hex Estate, yeah. And DB in the house there. Hey, good to see DB. One day closer, DB. One day closer to Pulsechain. And no bump in Hex price despite this excitement on Maxi. Yeah, Dave down there. No bump yet. We are still waiting. We're going to have to wait. Probably, I'm thinking now that we'll probably have to wait towards the end of the period, but we've got another 18 days or so to go. So still a while to go yet with the Hex old price there. We'll see what happens. Hex softball in the house there. Boom. Now, obviously, there's a certain amount of Hex going into the contracts. Just depends on how much is going to be bought on the market as opposed to, maxi trading to Hex and things like that. So we'll see how much is actually bought with US dollars ETH, for example. We're going to find out in over 21 days. Yeah, I understand the payouts is at maturity of stakes. I just want to know if it made a difference in minting base trio decks from the launch day. Was it the same if I mint on day 18? It's the same. So it's the same. Yeah, Hex Hodl says the same. Well said there, Hex Hodl. Hit the like, says Hex Softball. Definitely smash the like there. Now, if you want to do, there's the website, of course, Maximus DAO, the one we're looking at the moment. If you want to mint team tokens with your Maxi or mint perpetuals with your Hex, then this is the site to go to. I've got 2 videos on the channel on how to do that if you're new to crypto and you need that assistance. Francis in the house there. Hi, Francis. Always good to see you. Christian says stack up on Hex and Hedron. Yeah, hey, look, this stuff's all pretty nicely priced at the moment. If you think about it, they're all looking pretty good. Let me get out of here. Yeah, here is our charts. Hex on the left there at 4 cents. We've got Maximus on the right there at a 2.14 premium. Obviously, with a big whale move, traded out into Hex and then staked that in the Perpetuals and the Decky, the 10-year one, which was the smart move. If you're going to do that, that would be the move that you're going to play. And so, yeah, cool. What else there? Hedron there is currently at 4,038. And, of course, icosa is $1.20 there, moving with the price of Hex. Sorry about the comment there. I'm doing pretty well, not leaving comments on the chat. I've been getting better. Just got to make sure I look at the studio and the websites at the same time. Stressful Struggle says PZN is about to take off. Dang, up a lot today, says Stressful Struggle. Yeah, we covered that in detail this morning there, Stressful Struggle. Seems like there's two or three people in the community, including you, Stressful Struggle, that likes to promote that project. So that's pretty cool. All right, else here. Herb Gullet says, question outside the Max ecosystem. Would like to know your take on Dodeca, says Herb. Well, we do cover Dodeca and we do cover PCN. They're both on our wildcard sheet, so we'll be covering that in a second. So stay tuned. Richard also had a good video today. Yeah, Stressful Struggle, you did. I've actually posted that video on this channel if you want to see Richard's keynote speech. It doesn't include the question and answers, but I have zooped it up a little bit, made it a bit more exciting. So check that out on the channel. Richard Hart's keynote speak at Pulsechain. And I thought it was actually really good. Obviously, it looks like 2023 is probably the launch date. But hey, he may do a Christmas surprise. That's always possible. I really do think that he's not only is he trying to make the chain better security-wise, operationally, but also waiting for the bottom of the market to play out. There's so many features that he seems to be talking about in terms of hitting the bottom. So it seems like a combination of those two will be required to give us a better indication of when he's going to launch. But it looks like 2023, possibly at the end of this year, maybe we get a surprise at Christmas. Who knows? We'll find out. Wookiees loves the softball. Yeah, you do. Mikey says, Superman, I truly appreciate your ability to bring us all this information in a way that's easy to understand. You're a Hex goat, in my opinion. I appreciate that, Mikey. Doing my best, that's for sure. Hexkin Batman says, Ermagerd. Good to see Hexkin Batman. And, of course, welcome to everybody, and no matter where you are around the world. Now, if you missed it, of course, we had big news from PowerCity. So we're going to play that quickly. It's only about 40 seconds long. They're going to basically, we are waiting for Liquid Loans to get their DApp out on Pulsechain. And of course, we've got another big, juggernaut, PowerCity. Looks like they're going to have their PowerCity core product out on the PulseNet testnet in October, and possibly their amplifier as well. So that was pretty cool news.
Excited to share that we just finished development on the core, and we are entering our internal testing right next week, which puts us on track to have a public testnet in October. So real code coming real soon. Now I got something exciting here. This has also completed development this week, and we are going into internal testing next week on amplifier as well, which means we will be going into a public testnet later on this fall or early winter. So great news, big things coming to Pulsechain testnet.
Yeah, so awesome news, right? That's great news. So we're getting all our top tier projects is coming out one after another. They've finished their products. They're in private testing. They're going to the Pulsechain. This is really positive. So one of obviously with Pulsechain not out as soon as many would like it, perhaps it has given all the big teams a chance to finish their products. And of course, they'll be ready to go straight off the bat with Pulsechain. So we're actually getting probably some good alignment. So I think it's a good trade-off. Obviously, not being launched straight away, the trade-off is that we're getting all these alpha projects being able to finish their projects on time. And so that our chain, when it does launch with Pulsechain, will have all these absolutely amazing dApps running on it straight away. We won't be waiting for all these alpha projects. So that's actually a good upside. So I think that's really, if you're thinking, I know there's quite a few people out there, and that's understandable that, you wish it was yesterday. And of course, people have to have patience with this. Software is difficult, but at the end of the day, you're seeing all these big projects being able to get their development work done. And so that we're going to have all these top tier projects launching on Pulsechain straight out of the gate. And that's going to be a really good thing. And I'm sure that Richard is taking that into account as well. I'm sure he thinks about these things. So that's just going to be cool. All right, cool. Let's have a look at what else we've got going. There's the charts. We've got James Stressful Stokes says, honestly think he has a lot of class, Conrad Zen. I like how he doesn't need a bunch of flashy things. You could tell that dude came from money. Class of year. Hey, look, Comrade Zen's a cool guy, and he's done a lot for the community. So, you know, appreciate what he's done. What else there? G'day all, says Brennan, just listening in the background to all the alpha. Hey, Brennan, always good to see you. James says, Superman dropping A1 alpha bombs all stream. We're having fun here, James. We're having fun, that's for sure. Right, so let's get on to some of the other cards. We're going to have a quick look at the BNB chain. And, of course, we've got something pulse dodge here on BNB. It's currently at 4/10 of a penny. So it's having a little bit of a green time there. But once again, it's got a higher low. As you can see, a higher low from here, but it's still, you know, struggling to get any really good shape that you can rely on. P33's had a pretty rough time. It got down as low as 8.3 cents, and it's currently at 9 cents there. So a little bit of reprieve there on the daily. But yeah, having a bit of hard time there. And that's kind of a little bit weird, right? Because they have free pulse. They had like 150,000 people or something like that join there. They've got hot pulse list, lots of stuff there, but their meme coin is really struggling at the moment. Now, maybe it will recover later on, but at the moment, it's not doing that great. And of course, obviously there's volatility, but it's still not looking that great at the moment. Now, IM at the moment is at just under 8,000. This has also failed to kind of get over the 1,000 mark. So you can see IM really just not really doing too much there. I mean, it's got slightly higher lows, but very slight. It's not, you know, a bit messy chart really, but it was getting good up here when we were up at 15,000. It's down at 8,000 at the moment. We'll see how that gets on. Now, obviously, it's everything. All the big stars have been looking at Hedron for a while until the pullback. Obviously, Maxi is kind of the main play at the moment. Let's have a look at the airdrops. Obviously, people are talking about PLSD pumping. I don't know if it's not pumping at the moment. Maybe it was earlier. It's currently at $3.10. So PLSD is currently at $3.10. Now, I'm expecting this to be the next play when the new staking gamification comes out with Dodge Bitcoin and stuff. I am expecting this to fly again. It has got higher lows and it is defending this price range of about $2.95 to $3. So it is doing that at the moment. But of course, the dev is, you know, working pretty fast. So I imagine it's going to be out soon. But when is soon, right? When is soon. But this is not looking too bad. Remember, this launched at $1. It's now holding at $3.10. So that's doing pretty well. Obviously, it's not up at the high here where it was at $9.53. But it's holding pretty well. And of course, when they get staking, that's going to be a real bullish thing, just like it has been for Hedron. And I will look forward to that when it comes out. Now, the other thing, of course, is they may also have some new gamification in the old Pulse Dodge as well. It may have not seen. I think the dev might be quite creative there. I think that's possible. So we're over 0.5% on the weight token. So that's kind of where we're at the bottom of the range, but we're pretty much sitting there. Obviously, not many people have claimed weight token. I haven't checked the circulating supply or the total supply minted so far. So maybe we should do that because I haven't done that for a few days. Let's go check that and see how much has actually been minted there. It's been a while since I did that. It's not finding anything at the moment. Maybe I've overloaded the system here. No, that's not what I'm trying to look at. Where is it? I'm sure it's under airdrops. So I'm in the wrong one there. Weight. Let's go to weight token. We're going to go find out how much has actually been minted so far. Okay, so last time I checked, it was just over 60,000. It's now at 74,000 weight has been minted so far. We've got 3,122 holders. So it's kind of cool. Now we're going to go to the contract and we're going to go to read only. It's been a little while since I checked this one, so hopefully we'll get to the right one here. Where was it that I checked? Used to check here. Mintable total sacrifice. Let me think. Total supply. No, we know that. Total. I'm not sure if it's actually here. Actually, total mintable all weight. Maybe it's this one. Oh damn it! What's going on there? No, mintable all unclaimed weight. No, I think that would have it actually. Oh no, mintable weight. No, okay. I thought that might have it. Minted people. No, not minted people. Minting. Is it minting? No. Okay. Total people. Total sex. 8 total sex. Yeah, there's 8. That's true. Okay, so that's this total number there. So far, 74 million has been minted. I think I did it manually, actually. I haven't done the number of days. So, what was it? The 5th of... when was it? The 5th of... was it 5th of July? Can't remember when the launch date now. I used to have this in my head, but I've forgotten. Anyway, so that is... every day it's accruing like 4.5 million weight tokens, and that's on top of 880 million. So it's well in excess of $1 billion, probably 1.1, 1.2 billion or somewhere up there. So this is only a fraction of that. Not many people minted, which gives scarcity, right? It has got scarcity, but that's pretty much how it's going at the moment. So only a few percent has been minted, if that. So cool. That's where it's at, 0.5%. So it actually has got a lot of scarcity, but obviously not a lot of people buying that at the moment. So it's kind of where the airdrops are at. Let's go to the wildcards. We've got PZN. Oh, PZN there. Like I say, earlier in the first live stream, we were down here. And of course, I said that, yeah, if it's got a higher low, so that was the positive, right? It didn't break out up here, but this is looking more likely now. It's going to break up now. So let's see. We've got plenty of room in the RSI at 60. So that's cool. So we'll watch this carefully. Maybe it run out of steam. Maybe it gets up to 7/10 of a penny and runs out of steam, but it has got higher lows. And this has got a nice, if we put a nice angle there, that's looking quite good. So, yeah, we're watching PZN indeed. I think we looked at the supply the other day on PZN, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's all probably I'm going to say about that at this stage. Let's jump over to, I think that's it. So let's go to the Dodeca. Dodeca, of course, is the problem with what we like about it is it buys Hex. And of course, that's cool. You know, we like that. I mean, obviously, but the problem with these is that they tend to wind down in value. They tend to go down. Now, obviously, it came back up to here, but that was probably, a relief rally there. And then down we go. And we're down back to 28 cents. Obviously, you got to own 369 Dodeca for this. The problem is keeping the momentum up with these systems, right? Because they take the tax and they buy Hex and they give it to people that are holding. The people that are trading, they're the ones that pay for it pretty much. But over time, these kind of lose momentum and they sort of cycle down. The other thing to this is that apparently the average price for the SAC was about 8 cents. So someone said that in the chat the other day. So if that's true, then a lot of the original holders are still in quite good profit. A lot of the people that sold down here were probably a lot of those original sacrifices with the cheap things. So they made a bit of a killing there, 10, 12x or whatever. And of course, here we are at the moment. So we're going to be watching to see whether this can hold 20 cents. And if it starts spiraling down, then you know this is where this is going. And of course, you got to watch the trade volume as well. So that's the other thing. So yeah, lots of features to that. And I haven't done, that's probably as much a look at it I have done. And obviously, there's a limited amount. And of course, there's a burn function as well. So that's probably the upside, is that maybe over time, the scarcity becomes so good that the price does end up rebounding if it can maintain enough interested investors. So even with the burn, it's not inevitable. So if they massively burn a lot of this Dodeca, it's still not inevitable that the price will go up if people have just lost interest. So that's the other thing. So yeah, at the moment, that's kind of where I feel this is. Typically, these do go down. We'll watch out and see how this experiment goes. Highly speculative relative to the other projects, of course. That's why it's under our wildcards. But yeah, that's pretty much my points. Now, feel free to add your comments in the chat there as well. What else there? We're going to cut more comments. Hex Hodl came from money, got a Hex boost, spends it, Hex dumps, and creates PZN, says Hex Hodl. Talking about PZN there. PLSD is not pumping. Yeah, PLSD is not pumping there. Hex will remain the king once all this other hype settles. Absolutely. Hex is the GOAT, as we say. DB Cooper would say that. DB Cooper is still here, right? James says, do you think market buy some weight or claim it? Hey, look, a speculative play on weight at the moment, that would make sense. Now, obviously not investment advice. It is very speculative. But the weight token, of course, is at the bottom of the range. And of course, typically, if it goes up to 7/10 of a penny, you might make a bit of money on there. I just wouldn't put too much into it. Obviously, the liquidity, you got to take the liquidity into account. But it's kind of out the bottom here. If it gets back up to 7/10 of a penny, that's a pretty nice little gain. Once again, you've got to weigh that up. Obviously, you don't want to move the price yourself up to here because otherwise you won't make can't guarantee yourself the profit. So maybe for a small trade there, maybe. So yeah. Haven't looked at the liquidity size, but just take that into account when you're thinking about it. I know, James. I know what you're thinking there, James. Hamid says, "Hey, Hedron, yeah, good to see Hamid, and I like the flowers there, very, very nice, and lots of hearts. I appreciate that, Hamid. Out to the community, very, very cool. How we're doing? 55 minutes, up to pretty nice. Now, obviously, we had some pretty alpha drops there from PowerCity with the DApps coming on. Liquid lines, we're expecting that soon too. And of course, it is the quiet before the storm, I would say. We're still waiting to see. We've got 18 days to see how much will we get much buy pressure from the Maximus Perpetuals, and that all depends on whether people are not just using Hex from their wallets or trading Hex from Maxi, for example. It really depends on whether people are taking US dollars and ETH and buying Hex to put in the Perpetuals. That's what we're going to look for. I suspect that we'll get some of that towards the end for sure, but it's just how much we get day after day after day leading up to the final, to 48 hours, for example. So we're waiting to see that as well. Now, previously I've used numbers like 10%, 15%. It depends if we get 600 million Maxi Hex as well in those. And at the moment we're tracking at about 55 million or so. So we're going to be watching how that progresses as the days move on. Now we have a cool window from the market up to the ETH merge on the 15th, so that might give us a bit of oomph as well. So we'll look forward to that. Then after that, we get up to the 21st of September. We've got inflation coming out, by the way, on the 15th September too. So it's not just the ETH merge, but inflation data coming from the US on the 15th as well. So yeah, we'll wait and see where that goes to. Now I have been doing, I did my second monthly economic indicator video. So you can check that out too. That has all the key indicators coming up, at least from the point that I did it, up for the month of September, and inflation is in the middle. We've already had the manufacturing numbers and of course the non-services numbers as well. They've both been bullish. So the economy is still doing pretty well. And so that's actually drives the interest rate, the decision to make it higher. But I think most people are expecting a 75 basis points. So that's kind of probably where we'll end up there. The market would be a bit shocked to get a 100 basis points, but they may do it. They could front load it with 100 basis points and then make the November one lower. I might remember 50 basis points, and then they've got the midterms coming in that would play into their masters. And of course, it's supposed to be neutral, but you guys all know, if you look at their policies coming out of the Federal Reserve, how they talk at the subcommittees, you know that they're not neutral, right? Yeah, we'll see how they get on there. All right, cool. Let us jump over to Pulsechain. Now, I just every so often I come back to Pulsechain to show you yield farming. So obviously, Richard Hart dropped a little beastie boy alpha drop there today that the limit orders are coming. I've talked about this in a video some time ago, and of course that we'll be able to do limit orders. So that's going to be fun. They've been working on that, and so I think limit orders is a pretty important part of this. You see it on PancakeSwap and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun to have limit orders where you can just set and forget. Maybe you think the market's going to go down overnight. You want to sell out at a certain point. If the market goes down below a certain point, you can set a limit order and be able to sell it out. So it'd be pretty cool. I know Hex Hedron will love that. So it's coming up there. Liquidity as well. So that's going to be cool. So we've got that. That's going to be up in this exchange part. We'll have a new button up here probably that says limit orders. And that's going to be cool. Now, what we're going to be doing here, of course, is going to the farms. And we're going to harvest our liquidity that we've got in here. This is our sort of LP tokens. Now I've got 114 million PLS tokens here, and of course that's currently worth 630,000 US dollars. Sorry, I added a million onto there. That was an accident. That was wishful thinking. Now, obviously, I've got 198. Oh man, I've never had this much. It must be a little while since I've harvested my tokens. I've got 198 incentive tokens worth 7,500, and of course, I'm getting. Brennan is smashing me because Brennan's down here. He's one of the community members in the chat typically, but he's down here. He's got the incentive PLS. He's getting 63% APY. I'm getting 28%. So yeah, maybe it wasn't the best pool to go into, but it's the biggest, right? So that's pretty much. Let's set it. We're going to hit the harvest button, and of course we're going to harvest those incentive tokens, and they're going to go to our wallet, which is going to be cool. And you can see the wallet's processing. There, it's got pulling out. It calls deposit, but I'm actually withdrawing. It's a bit lazy. These coders, they're a bit lazy. They have the same function for that, the same name. So there we are. That's the deposit there. It's gone into the wallet. This is our play wallet that we use on this channel. And of course, we're going to go up to the incentive token. Where is it gone? Where's the incentive token? There it is there, 198. There we are. Look at that. Beautiful. 198 incentive token. Now, Richard also talked about the incentive token today on the Pulsechain keynote. So we've got limit orders coming. That's great. And of course, coming on Pulsechain testnet soon. So we're playing around with that. And obviously, also the incentive token, he said, well, there's nothing too special about the incentive token. Obviously, it's going to be deflationary. We know that from the Pulsechain site. So if we go to Pulsechain, we're going to have that to be deflationary. So let's go to Pulsechain there. I'm going to scroll down. And of course, you can see that the incentive token on here, the second Pulse X incentive token, in order to enhance Pulse X success, another token will exist to further incentivize liquidity providers beyond the fees they're already making. When they become liquidity providers, they will receive LP tokens that they can deposit in the yield farm. This has not yet been named. This not yet named token, which we basically call the incentive token at the moment, is emitted with decreasing inflation over time. So this is the key line here: emitted with decreasing inflation over time. Now, I think this token is overlooked, but given the context that this token is going to be sitting in on PulseX and Pulsechain with all the pump mentors, and the fact that it's got deflation, an emission at that decreases over time, the yield farmers will come in for this, and we'll get a lot of speculators speculating on the incentive token and accumulating this. So it's going to be fun to see this within the context of PulseX and Pulsechain and the whole ecosystem, which I covered in my video 2 days ago. Now, this is going to be pretty interesting to see this play out. DAO chooses which trading pairs receive this incentive and at what rates. Only addresses with PLSX balances get to vote in the DAO. So that's awesome. So that's pretty cool just to go back on refresh on that one as well. Anyway, so I've harvested those tokens. So I've got those incentive tokens in there. I can obviously go and trade those tokens if I want to. Trade them if I want to. Or I can enter them in the incentive into the trading pool. I can do that too. So it's pretty cool. Now, the incentive token is for farmers, of course. I just got it here, the incentive token, INC. And of course, we're looking for that. Hey, look, I've already made 80 cents already. I just harvested it. That's how much happens when you got $630,000 in there. You make like $1 straight away. You could go get to McDonald's and buy HODL a Big Mac, and well, maybe in a minute or two, buy HODL a Big Mac and something like that. So it's cool. Yeah, looking forward to that. Limit order will be over here, be on top of this exchange probably, or somewhere along here. If they're using a similar setup to Pancake, that's pretty much what it looks like. So cool. I think that's probably it on there. I'm not going to trade that. I'm just going to leave that incentive token in there. We might put that in liquidity pools later on, as the way we might do that. All right, cool. That is that. Let's jump out of there, and we're going to jump out of there. So nice news from Richard around limit orders, and that is obviously, if you'll see the highlight video, is also talking about the fact that he is also doing the MetaMask. They're still working on the MetaMask, so that's really positive. The fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, he talks about that, but he doesn't say too much about it. The only thing I would say is that we're probably going to have a solution from EB Exchange with Overwatch, Rack and Rochelle. Possibly we could get even possibly maybe entities like PowerCity could end up having that sort of solution coming as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, he also talked, he got asked by Fashion Coder at the end around oracles, which I was a little surprised at because Liquid Loans has already announced that they've got Talor coming. Talor coming as an oracle. So I'm not sure specifically what she was referring to there, other than obviously PulseX can be a place that you could actually draw prices from. So obviously Talor being an intermediary there with probably multiple feeds there as well. So we already have an established decentralized oracle and Talor coming to Pulsechain. So that news was pretty big. We talked about that some time ago when Liquid Loans announced that, which is a big deal. That means a lot of other service providers and a lot of DeFi like Fiat and other people can use those too if they need them for Talor calls, price calls as well. That will be robust over time. So very, very cool. Obviously, Chainlink has indicated they're not coming straight away. But hey, look, they say that at the beginning, then later on they all capitulate. And of course, stay tuned for my video tonight because we're going to be talking about that in tonight's video. So stay tuned for that. One's going to be pretty awesome. How fast will Pulsechain grow? Stay tuned for that. It's part of the third video in the Pulsechain series, short form video. So wait for that. One's going to be cool. All right, that's kind of where we're at the stage. Very nice. Yeah, PulseSpot, of course. PulseSpot is had their third auction, the Hex 5555. Went for about $23,000, the Hex roulette table. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait to see the PulseSpot gaming site up and running on BNB chain. Obviously, they wanted to do Pulsechain first. They're doing 5 chains, but BNB is up and running. I'm glad about that. It's good to get working products out there. And of course, the first chain up is BNB. Now they are doing the Pulsechain roulette tables though first, so the people that buy those will have to wait for Pulsechain. But they're going to be doing the BNB NFTs after their launch. I understand it on the 14th is the expected time for PulseSpot. So that's going to be fun to see that. Now that's very speculative, so we're going to talk about that. It's kind of in the gaming casino, iGaming's category of crypto. So we're talking about that, but they are innovating at the frontier of that. So I'm excited to cover that project too. All right, let's see where we're going here on the charts. We've got Hex at 4 cents. It almost seems like it's just stopped at 4 cents, like time has stopped the last 10 days. And of course, we're waiting to see whether we'll get some buy pressure from the Perpetuals in addition to normal market behavior. We have had a lot of volatility. That's the problem that is making people, a bit nervous. And we've seen people trading into stable coins, stuff like that. So we've got a bit of that going on there. Hedron, of course, is run out of steam for the time being. Obviously with the sell-off there, and that's all sort of probably punched on the nose there. A few people, there were a lot of people in here with big X returns, but hey, we're going to see where this goes. I'm still feeling pretty good about this, but it may come down about 3,200 is my guess. We'll see how the markets go overnight, and of course we've got icosa at $1.18 there as well. So cool. Let's jump over to the comments. Probably got a few more in the house, coming up to an hour 6 minutes. So it's pretty cool. Now let me get on here. We've got James Bond says, "You know me, Superman," says James. I know. I try not to say it explicitly though, James. I try not to say it explicitly because I don't want to give away what you've been up to, and that's what I try to do. Human Healers in the house there. Where did he drop the limit order alpha? And on the keynote Pulsechain, so the PulseCon conference. Now that video's on the. I published that just the speech on this channel, so you can check that out. Human Healer. When was it? It was Twitter. No, it's on the his opening speech there, so you can check that. I might play it at the end of this video. We might play it at the end. We'll play the whole video. It goes for 15 minutes, so you don't have to watch the other video. You can watch that at the end. I'll play that once we get to an hour and a quarter. I'll wrap up this live stream and play Richard's keynote speech. We talked about limit orders and MetaMask and everything else. Brennan says, I'm here. LP farming going good. Hey, Brennan, I just talked about you and LP farming, saying that you're doing better than me on the percentage gains. I'm not sure if you've reached the portfolio value yet. Let me know if you've reached, surpassed my 650,000 or whatever I've gotten there. Let me know if you've surpassed that with your higher yield. Rakesh in the house there, please do Hedron price analysis. Rakesh, yeah, I talked about that earlier, Rakesh. Kind of my floor price is kind of got hit almost, just about. And of course, I was talking about it might get down to lows 3.2, 3.5 is kind of where I feel. Hex Hodl, you might have an opinion on that. Let me know your opinion on that one, Hex Hodl. That's kind of where I feel. Randy last talked about 3.200. I talked about 3.500. We hit 3.600 yesterday. We're currently at 4,000 at the moment. I'm not sure if it's quite over yet. Luckily, the markets were green last night. Otherwise, this could have gone down there quite easily. That's kind of where. So far, so good. I kind of expect that it probably will bounce off here and go up. But once again, none of us know the future. It's just our opinions. All right, cool. I probably should pull this chart up so I can do a Fibonacci retracement. But hey, I'd feel free to do that. Yeah, Rakesh, if you've got a Fibonacci retracement, you should do that and see how far it's fallen against that. But it looks like, depending where you take it, looks like about 45% or something like that. Human Healer says, did I miss RH live stream last night? No, it was just a couple of hours ago, Human Healer. So it's a couple of hours ago. You can rewatch it here on YouTube. Yeah, you can. It's on the channel. Here says Hex Huddle. PulseCon and House, good to see Cape Figure as always. And DB says hashtag more token. Yeah, Trayvon's token. You want me to put that on the wildcard? I guess I could. Technically, I could put more on there, but it's not really. I guess I could. It's a wildcard though. I don't know. Let me know. Maybe I'll do a poll on that. Hex Huddle says, yeah. I have not surpassed your 600 cases, Brennan. Oh, that's lucky, man. I was a bit worried there. Brennan. That's pretty crazy. Keeping my eyes on your portfolio there, Brennan. That's how it rolls. A little healthy competition. That doesn't hurt anybody, right? Actually, we will go to wildcards. Let's see. I don't know if I've actually got it on here. Hopefully, I've got to check the contract, which is the problem. Is this the more one here? I guess so. I guess I have to go check it versus Trayvon. You always need to, before you get a search for a chart, you need to make sure it's the right contract, right? So just remember that. And I haven't actually looked at that. It's 85DO. Is that what it is? 85DO. Let me know who is putting more there. What's it? $1.18, is it? Let me have a look at liquidity. 72,023. It's very low liquidity. Come on, Trayvon. Surely he can muster more people than that into the token. Maybe not. All right, so 72. We'll add that. I've got to check this. Remember, I got to check this one. So just take it into account. I have to check. I'll do it after the live stream to make sure it's the right one. Let's go to wildcards. It's added in. This is more for fun than anything. These are wildcards. It's probably a good thing I called them that. All right. More. That's all I had to do was that more. $1.18 on the wildcards. I'll probably once all the perpetuals up, I'll probably end up dropping all these wildcards. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of fun. You guys can let me know. It's $1.18 at the moment. $1.18. Let's have a look at the full chart on the more. This looks like the more because it's not been around too long. But I have to confirm this is the right contract. So there we are. Yeah, okay. It bounced off 84 cents up to $1.18. There we are. All right. Okay, Trayvon, I see you. I see you, Trayvon. I need some of these sound effects that Trayvon has with the audiences. Crowd like that, crazy stuff. All right, cool. That's pretty much it. Let's jump away from there. We had a bit of fun with that. Pulse dodge, and of course, here we are at the moment on Maxi 2.14 premium. After a big whale's moved, we had a few actually move in a row. They may have got the wrong signal from the big whale. You see, the big whale goes, and then other people jump onto that. They get the wrong signal. I wonder what this one traded at 117. Let's see what this one did in terms of it went to USDC, did it? Or Hex? Yeah, Hex there. Let's have a look. I don't know if they've got any Maxi in there now. Maximus 500, yeah. So they've gone out of there. What do they do with it with their trades? Let's have a look here. And USDC. Looks like there's gone a USDC there. Cool. Okay. Nice. There's some USDC. Looks like there's a sold out in the stable coins there. Coinbase. 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 Let's have a look at Coinbase. Now, I don't know if they have their news on here, but I don't know if they have their market updates. I guess it's market updates. I'm not sure if it's under that or not. Coinbase Ventures recap. I don't know if there's anything else here. I was trying to see whether they actually had, because they had already been pre-setting up for the merge. So maybe that's the email that you got around that. Someone was talking about getting an email from Coinbase there. DB says that's it. So that's the right more token. Cool. All right, we've added to the wildcards there. Trayvon will be happy about that. Kate Figure says 3 a.m. here. Got 2 hours sleep yesterday. You're a troublemaker, Superman, says Kate Figure. That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. The correct contract address has the word beef in it. Says DB Cooper. Beef. Go. Yeah, all right, I'll double check it anyway for before next live stream. All right, cool. We're up to an hour and 15. I think we're up to it, folks. We're going to get into it. I'm going to play the Richard Hart keynote speech from PulseCon 2022. That was only on what was it, about 7 hours ago. So this is hot off the press. Had quite a few confirmations. If you listen to the whole piece, you'll get a breadth of Richard Hart's thinking. I think it's fairly disclosed. So yeah, just all the things, if you think it all added up together regarding the Pulsechain technicals and the market, you can kind of get a picture of where he's at there. So cool. Ultimately, he will decide when Pulsechain launches. But in the meantime, I actually think it's playing out well given the market conditions and giving all these alpha projects, these AAA projects that we've got coming on, a chance to finish their projects. So we have all these native Pulsechain projects launching some alpha bombs on the old Pulsechain there. You heard me say it. I just said it. That's what happened. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, have a great day, everybody out there. Don't forget dollar cost average. Pick up those Maxi team, the base trio, Lucky Dicky. Check it out. I've got videos on the channel. Way to go there. Let's pull in the video file. We're going to make sure I find the right one. I've zooped this up, by the way. It's got a bit of editing going on it. So I've tried to flash this video up here. It hasn't got music on it. This is the basics, just the basics. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me find it. Where did I put it? I can't remember how long it was, actually, to be honest. Is this the one? I can't remember whether I've got my edited version or not. Let me have a look. I found it, but I'm not sure if that's the edited version. I think it might be this one here. All right. Enjoy, everybody. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Take care.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Pulsechain shirt on. Pulsechain ring. So, am I just talking or what? Am I live? I guess I'm just live. Hey, everybody. I hope the weather's nice and cool out there. I hear it's like 106 Fahrenheit, kind of hot. I have been talking to devs a lot recently, and I guess the next thing you're going to see released on Pulse X is going to be the limit orders. Works fine in the private testnet. They're just going to push it to the main branch, and like we'll be able to test that soon. And the big thing that we're waiting on is consensus improvements. So because my devs are geniuses, they find bugs other people don't know about. So they know about bugs in BSC that nobody else knows about. They know about bugs in the click consensus mechanism, which Pirelli is based on, that nobody knows about. And so, you know, before we launch mainnet, we want everything to be right. And right now we have a pretty cool opportunity because the Ethereum guys finally got to market with something, or are close to getting to market with something, which is their Ethereum 2.0, which will now, once it happens, just be called Ethereum. They won't be called Ethereum 2. And it doesn't release new coins. You're not going to get a copy of your coins on Ethereum 2. It doesn't improve costs. There's no extra throughput. There's no extra gas limit. There's no extra throughput per second. All it does is reduce issuance rate for Ethereum, which is bullish for all of crypto. You know, Ethereum's got half the market cap of Bitcoin. And if you don't have Ethereum miners dumping the price constantly and enriching power companies and hardware manufacturers at the cost of the environment and the price chart, well, that's great. And that's great for all of crypto. And it's also great for Pulsechain. In my mind, the two most important core concepts for Pulsechain are the Ethereum fees still high? Yes, they are. You know, I was looking earlier today, it's still $3 to send normal Ethereum. It's still, you know, 10 or 12 bucks to do a Uniswap transfer, etc. And that's during a bear market where, you know, Ethereum already dropped 85%. Bear markets tend to come to an end. So the last bear market only lasted 365 days. This one is going to last a little bit longer because people decided to destroy their balance sheets and buy a second. They didn't want to do the normal blow off top bubble chart. They wanted to do an extra double bubble. And this double bubble, well, it didn't work. Ethereum's capital liquidated, block, you know, Celsius bankrupt, Michael Saylor net negative, El Salvador net negative, everybody, you know, all those guys losing money left and right. All the people that listen to me, well, they've seemed to have done much better. Called top of the day. You might have heard that before. So basically, with this merge that's coming up, assuming it goes well, which I hope that it does, they've got a lot of audits. They've done a lot of testing on it. Hope it goes well. It doesn't do anything but help Pulsechain. Fees are still high. Gas limits are still low. No one's building out extra capacity for Ethereum. No one's trying to reduce the Ethereum fees except us. And I guess maybe the ETH2 developers that someday in the future will eventually get around to sharding, which has been a dream of theirs for like as long as Ethereum's existed. I don't know, 6 years. And it's great. So it also helps with our consensus stuff, because a lot of stuff the guys did in ETH2 for consensus is useful for us and Pulsechain. And that's the only thing we're really waiting on. So, you know, if you use the testnet, which I consider to be the best game on the blockchain, hey, you like blockchain games? Guess what, guys? You get copies of all your coins in the pulsechain.com testnet. Go try them out right now. You can trade them back and forth. You can do, you know, it's the same code. So you can do a lot of the same things. And everything else has been really good. Like PulseX, done tons of trades, tons of people doing buy and burns. You know, I've heard nothing but good things about the testnet. So we're basically, because things have taken as long as they have, we're more secure. We're able to improve other projects if we want. Not sure we will. You know, it's just funny. So in my mind, the two things people care about the most in Pulsechain are more coins, more throughput, lower fees. That's the primary value statement. And ETH 2.0 with this merge doesn't give you new coins, doesn't give you lower fees, doesn't give you higher throughput. And so our value proposition is totally clean. I like it. everything's good. And then the less negative sell pressure on crypto as a whole from removing the miners having to get paid all the time is good for everything. Now, am I bullish on crypto? Not yet. Now remember, Hex ran up 60x versus Bitcoin the first time it dumped from 65K down 55%. So Hex can totally decorrelate from Bitcoin. I think it was kind of bad timing that it looks correlated now, because we had our own cycles, right? There were sacrifice phases. There was other things going on in our own cycles. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some point Hex started doing the same things it used to do, which is just overperforming like crazy. We'll see. I don't have a crystal ball. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, do your own research, etc. But I mean, even recently when you saw Bitcoin like break under 20K, which people are really hoping for, they don't want to see, they don't like seeing Bitcoin under 20K. And then if you're a technical analyst, there's some things that say like support becomes resistance. And so, you know, what used to be resistance is support in theory, old 20K top, now 20K quote bottom, but actually didn't hold a 20K bottom at all. Didn't respect that at all. You know, went down to 17.5, is now sitting at, it was interesting. I saw the euro and Bitcoin and the S&P 500 all pumped today. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're correlated. So yeah, I think as long as Grayscale Bitcoin's at a 33% discount, which it is, and they hold 1% of all Bitcoin, and, you know, the Ethereum merge might be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I mean, we see lending, people that are borrowing Ethereum for the merge, they're paying like 15% APY to do it. And so, you know, there's some people interested in playing this merge game. And I think traditionally in crypto, buy the rumor, sell the new stuff is pretty common, you know. And so with the risk that Bitcoin dumps due to either just not doing its 85% dump yet, which would put it at, you know, a little bit under 11K, and the 33% discount on Grayscale BTC, which has been consistent. I mean, it's been there for months. And the Mt. Gox coins being released at some point. Those guys suck so bad. Just give us a date, guys. Just give us a date. Let's go. Stop screwing around, you know? The comedy, that whole thing. And then we've got the Bitfinex coins they're trying to sell, which I think is like 94,000 coins or 84,000 coins or something. And then we've got Ross Ulbricht's coins, which I think is like 70,000 coins, somewhere between 54 and 74,000. Can't remember the exact number. I tweeted all these, so you can look these up. So we've got discounted Grayscale Bitcoin, which is 1% of all Bitcoin. We've got Mt. Gox, Bitfinex, and the federal marshals probably selling Ross Ulbricht's coins because he signed off to let them do it to pay his restitution. And then normal cycle dump, right? And then maybe buy the rumor, sell the news for merge. So in my mind, it's the dream bottom would be the Grayscale discount goes away. Some of those free coins that are going to get released by law, like the Japanese ones at Mt. Gox, or going to get dumped as a matter of law, which would be the Ulbricht ones of Silk Road fame. And then it's up in the air whether the Bitfinex ones will really get sold or not. You know, they might get refunded or they might get sold. Who knows? And I think there was 94,000 coins there. You could look it up. So the dream would be those coins get dumped. Bitcoin's deficit to net asset value in Grayscale disappears. And then it does its traditional 11K and pray 85% dump. That's been a nice bottom. And then if they raised interest rates, oh boy, that'd be nice too. Because as long as they keep doing quantitative tightening, QT, it pushes down the stock market pushes down Bitcoin pushes down Ethereum. That's how it goes. And then I like this next cycle is going to be hilarious because with Pulsechain, you know, like look at the situation Bitcoin's in. Is there DeFi in Bitcoin? Comedically, no. Is there high throughput? Is there low fees? Is there a roadmap? Nope. Is there good anonymity? Nope. Now I was just talking to a lawyer today about the Tornado Cash situation. And this, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, but he says that, you know, the sanction just addressed USDC. which means it could be the case that you can still use Tornado Cash using the ETH address. And as long as you're using IPFS to access the contract, you know, it seems like it should be okay. But if you mess this up, it's devastating. Don't mess it up. Be very careful. Get your own legal advice. You know, of the many things in this world that you want to toy with, sanctions are not one of them. The government takes them very, very seriously. So I would get legal advice from a lawyer before I did anything related to sanctions. So yeah, bear markets don't last forever, right? So if our top was, let's check the chart here, check the chat. So if we call the most recent local top, get on the daily here, in Bitcoin, if we call that November of 2021, and a year out would be, that's November 11th of November 10th of 2021. You know, that's 2 months from now. So if the bear market's only going to last 365 days, that's only 2 months and 4 days from now. Could happen, right? We could dump, make that firm bottom. And everyone else is thinking about this bear market. I'm thinking about the next bull market. As soon as we've got this consensus figured out, and I think we've got a good plan, as soon as this consensus is like executed and fixed on Pulsechain, it's going to be glorious. Imagine imagine all these new people that get to buy a massive dip. So when I got into crypto, I didn't get to buy a massive dip. I got to buy the top. So I bought Bitcoin at 30 and went down to 2. I was down 93.5% to start. It was like, oh, well, this sucks. Then you just hold. Then it goes up to 1,200, and then it goes down to 200, and then it goes up to 20,000, then it goes down to 3, and then it goes up to 14, then it goes to 4, and then it goes to 69, and then it goes to 17. That's the history. So being able to have so many people, like perhaps the people at this conference, buying at rates that are, 10 times cheaper, like for instance, Hex dipped 95%. Well, golly, that's a good dip. I mean, you could get, if you buy 95% dip, you're getting 20 times the stuff for the same economic energy that a person that had bought previously did. So in theory, that greatly reduces your risk because you're getting so much more stuff. I don't know why in crypto everyone loves to buy tops and sell bottoms, but if you have the opportunity to buy bottoms, like some people bought the big payday dip, well, that was glorious. They did very well on that. Some people bought that $2 dip. I didn't. I just held. But had I been a lot smarter, buying a 90% dip on something that went up another 20,000 fold, yeah, actually went up another 34,500 fold from $2. So it's a lot. It's a lot of extra movement. 34,500x from the bottom of the dip. That was my introduction to Bitcoin. What else do we got going? I mean, some of you guys may notice there was a US credit card on-ramp available for Hex, which would be buy-to-hex.com. What else? Yeah, really, we're kind of waiting for consensus. That's the majority of what we care about right now. And we also, the documentary's done. So the highest of stakes documentary is complete, and they're just slapping the soundtrack on there now. So it's I hear a 40-piece orchestra. I'm not an expert on orchestras. I'm not, I don't listen to too much orchestral music. I guess we all do if we watch movies, because it's very common in movies. And apparently everyone that's seen it likes it. So I think it's going to be awesome when that comes out. So let's see what next year might look like. Pulsechain, PulseX, Hex on the Ethereum network, Hex on the Pulse network, documentary out, incentive token out. Tell us more about the incentive token. I don't know. People probably provide liquidity to it, and that'll be its claim to fame. What's Dogecoin's claim to fame? As a JPEG. This still seems to be a mechanic that works in crypto. What else? Racking my head here. Oh, yeah, the wallet's coming along. Mr. Wallet developer is still building out the wallet, so that's coming along. Anything else? I think that's all I can think about.